support the Ruffled Squad by checking out the 1K shirts right now. Now, Pokemon Sun and Moon have been amazing, and the new Alola Pokemon as well as the new Alola forms have been a great new addition to the Pokemon universe. But with the recently rumored Pokemon stars that's still fresh in our minds, it really comes down to the question, will they add new Alola Pokemon 2 stars? So basically today I decided to count down a few sick designs from the Fakemon community and show them to you. If you wish to check out any of these original designs, please feel free to go to the links in the description. And also a disclaimer, Pokemon stars is not 100% guaranteed that will be actually happening, but it's just a rumor and some leaks have come out here and there. But I just want to let you guys know, and so do you understand before we jump into this video. Either way, let's kick this off with number 10. Number 10. Now, coming in number 10, we have ourselves Finnair, which is a water-type Pokemon. It is a starter Pokemon, and its species is the Sea Serpent Pokemon. It evolves into Fintross at level 18, and then into Leviathan at level 36. Its Pokédex entry also states that it has a rivalry with Umbergons that it's had for almost 3,000 years. Finnairs are gentile and prefer not to fight. Finnair's body is covered in a slick film, which I don't really know what that means, that enables it to get out of foes' grasp. So I guess it has really nice little thin bodies that can easily slip out of people's grasp. These Pokemon have lived for over 3,000 years in civilization under the sea. Now I've got to say, for Finnair, I have to say that it's a genuinely cool Pokemon design. Its evolution, Fintross, and Leviathan are amazingly made. And I would believe that these are sort of Pokemon that will be true predators of the sea, and just a cool sea serpent Pokemon. Just gives me that airy feeling, even though they are gentle and kind of have a gentile feel to them. I feel like they would be really dangerous under the water in once they evolve into Leviathan or something like that. So yeah, I feel like they would be definitely some of the coolest water type Pokemons ever. Either way, let's go to number 9. Number 9. Now, coming in number 9, we have ourselves Lobsnip, which is a mixture between the word lobster and snip. And this Pokemon is from the hardshell Pokemon species. It is a water and steel type, and its evolution method goes from Lobsnip with a water stone into Shelmet, which is really cool. So Lobsnip is just a great combination of the words lobster and snip, which I think is so cool. And looking at the design of this Pokemon, it truly shines of the ocean and the sea and whatnot. You probably have noticed that from playing Pokemon Sun and Moon, there's a lot of ocean, so adding more water types really would be interesting. Especially since we already do have other crab Pokemon, why not just add a different sort of crab Pokemon to the Alola region specifically? It'd be really cool to see another crab Pokemon just in general. Either way, let's go to the next one. Number 8. Now, coming in number 8, we have ourselves Furiel, which is a mixture between fur and squirrel. So it's pretty cool, I like it. It is the species Bigtail Pokemon, and its typing is normal. Now, this Pokemon overall, it's just so cute, I've got to say. So its Pokédex entry states that Furiel can sleep anywhere by wrapping themselves into their incredibly soft tail. Its tail grows bigger when it gets older, and it will keep growing until it evolves. Now, the most amazing part about Furiel is how it evolves. It evolves based on the move it has. So it may be a little cute and whatnot, but it's so cool the way it evolves. If Furiel has Dig, it will evolve into Squake, and if it has the move Bounce, it turns into Quirrell, which is so cool. Now, this is something that I think would be really amazing to see in the actual Pokemon games. An actual Pokemon that would evolve based on the move it learns would be so crazy, since we haven't seen that really ever before. Honestly, it'd be beyond something we've ever seen. And the design of these is just great. I just love the way the design on the Quirrell and the Squake are made are just both crazy and well made, and it's just interesting to see what the community can create. And let's go to number 7. Number 7. Now, coming in number 7, we have definitely the favorite Pokemon of my own on this list, which I love this one so much, but it's called Roboe, which is the species Ember Pokemon. Its typing is Fire and Ghost, and this thing is amazing. So, its Pokédex entry states that Roboe are said to be undead bird Pokemon. They are enveloped in cold flames that increase in heat when they get angry. Roboe feeds on ashes. This is so cool. Now, Roboe has one of the most interesting names as well as the abilities to it. The ability to envelop into a cold flame that increases in heat as Roboe gets angry is just so amazing. I love it. And the fact that it feeds on ashes is just insane. It's something I've never seen before. I can't think of any other Pokemon that does that. I mean, this thing looks just adorable, but yet it's a ghost type, so it's kind of freaky thinking that this cute little thing is essentially a ghost. It is a ghost. And as for its evolution, Fenhex, I gotta say, this is the most beautiful design I've ever seen. It is so elegant, yet we know that we should be watching out for it, because it can burn us, or it can scare us. So, you know, I pretty much love this one. Let's go to the next one. Number 6. Now, coming in next is going to be number 6, which is going to be Gyarator, which is a mixture between Gyro plus Rotor. Now, it's the species Rotor Pokemon. Its typing is Flying, and it's pretty interesting. I really like the design and kind of the motive behind this one, so let's read the Pokédex entry. The Pokédex entry states that Gyarator are often found near the crash site of meteorites. They use their propeller to hover around, scouting the area to make sure it's safe to land. Now, this Pokemon is pretty much the helicopter or drone of the Pokemon world, if it ever ends up in Pokemon. Or, I mean, it would kind of fit really well into Pokemon Stars, because now that you kind of point out the fact that this Pokemon can be found close to crashed meteor sites, plays really well into the whole style of, like, it being a flying saucer. I mean, when you look at it, it looks like a saucer, kind of, you know, like a UFO or whatnot, and giving that kind of creepy alien feeling to it. And also, its evolution has, well, let's just say, it really plays well into the theme of alien saucers, considering that the Pokemon just... it has a level of legendaries, like legendary level to it, the final evolution, because when you read the Pokédex entry, it states that essentially this Pokemon is close to the level of the legendary, considering how rare it is. But either way, let's go to number 5. Number 5. Now, coming to number 5, we have ourselves Floatern, which is a mixture between the word float plus turn. Now, this species of Pokemon is the seafaring Pokemon. Its typing is water and flying type, and its evolution goes from Floatern, from Floatern at level 16 to Ringle, and then at level 30 goes to Seagull, or Seagale, which is really cool. Now, for Floatern, I have to say that this is one of the simplest style designs I've seen on this list, but I just love it, though. This sort of Pokemon, I could imagine, would stick around the coasts, where it's, like, a ton of boats and whatnot, or it would help out on beaches with rescues, and mainly, like, for example, the design, it just really looks like it's got a bat ring around its neck, which is really cool, and I feel like it could be one of those Pokemons that's out on the sea or on the beaches, kind of like helping out rescue people that are out on the, you know, that are drowning or whatnot. I feel like Floatern, once it gets its final evolution, be a perfect rescue Pokemon to have around, like, with the water and flying typing to it. It just works out great. Let's go to number 4. Number 4. Now, coming in number 4, we have ourselves one of the cutest designs, I'd say, which is Genie, which is a guinea pig plus tiny Genie. So, its species is Big Fur Pokemon, its typing is normal, and its Pokédex entry states that Genie are very common. Their claws are too small to be used properly, so it mostly attacks with its head when angry. Their fur grows a lot during the winter. Now, the thing about this, just generally, no... Genie may be a common type of Pokemon, but I definitely also say it's one of the cutest Pokemons I've ever seen on this list. Like, it's so adorable. But at the same time, once it changes into Gyarax, which takes on a badass looking form, I gotta say I just love it. Even when it evolves, it's still cute, but I love it. It just looks also badass and cute at the same time. And that the fact that just, like, it goes from this cute little thing to this furious, just huge monstrosity is just beyond anything I could ever imagine Game Freak doing themselves, because I don't know, the change is huge. I love the way it turns into this giant thing that's just badass, cute, and you just know you don't want to mess with it. Let's go to number 3. Number 3. Now, coming number 3, we have ourselves Chamon, which is a mixture between Arctic Char plus Salmon. So, this species is a fish Pokemon, of course, and its typing is water typing. Now, here's its Pokédex entry. Chamon are found in colder regions, like glacial lakes and northern seas. They have been observed swimming for miles, only to swim their way back immediately. Now, Chamon, for me, is pretty much like a Magikarp, except it has some weird swimming back and forth syndrome, which is really awkward. But if you look past that, its evolution, Kasakai, it's just amazing. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that. It is seriously an amazing looking Pokemon, and it's pretty much the entry I love the most on this list. And just, honestly, its ability to handle the cold is truly amazing, and how badass of a Pokemon it is. If you read its actual Pokédex entry, it's incredible. You can always go check these out in the links in the description. You can read through their entries yourself. They're really incredible, some of these designs that these people have created. So let's go to number 2. Number 2. Now, coming in next is going to be number 2, which is going to be Tobino, which is from the name Tobinai, which equals flightless. I'm not sure which language that is, but that's basically essentially what the name means. Now, its species is the hatchling Pokemon. It's typing on normal and flying. And here's the Pokédex entry. Tobino are protected by a sturdy shell and can withstand strong attacks as a result. Tobino are surprisingly speedy. Now, Tobino is just a bird version of Togepi, and it's just adorable. This Pokemon carries its shell from birth all the way to evolution, and you can even see it for its evolution, Purmu. It just keeps that aesthetic from the shell on it. And you can also see Purmu looks like it would be the perfect evolution as well as a very quick Pokemon, since its title is the Runner Pokemon. So I would just assume that this would be a very quick Pokemon to have around for, like, you know, extreme speed and whatnot. And it would probably have a lot of cool, really quick moves with it, which would really be interesting to see. Anyway, let's go to number 1. Number 1. Now, coming in number 1, we have ourselves one of the most badass Pokemon on this list, which is going to be Caradon, which is a mixture between Kerato, which equals wing on horn, plus Therodon, which is basically a dinosaur, I'd assume, a gliding dinosaur. I can't really say that name properly, can I? Either way, its species is the glider Pokemon, and its typing is dragon and flying. Now, here is the Pokedex entry for it. Caradon soar from great distances after jumping from cliffs. Their impressive stature is easily noticed along the horizon. Caradon often trained for just gliding purposes, or traveling purposes, pretty much. Either way, Caradon is the gliding Pokemon, and honestly, it just has an overall nice design. You can easily see that those wings are perfect for getting down mountains, and if Caradon ever had an evolution that was a larger version of it, it would be amazing to see how this would actually look if a trainer was actually flying on this thing down a mountain. So that would just be badass, especially with the new feature in the Pokemon Sun and Moon where you can actually ride the Pokemon. You don't need Heigens anymore, which is really cool, and I would love to see one of these Pokemon, especially Caradon. Imagine an evolution for it, flying down a mountain. It would just be insane. But that's going to be it for the video. If you did enjoy, please let me know your own opinions in the comments below. Do you think we should have Charmon, the sea Pokemon, or do you think we should maybe have the Caradon, the gliding Pokemon? I would really love to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Also, leave me your own suggestions and other things for future videos and whatnot. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video, subscribe for future videos, and if you got it this far, I want to just say thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time, Pokemon trainers. Bye-bye.